Good morning and welcome to Newsline for Wednesday, January the 15th, 2014. My name is Nat Nakavisut, and in today's top stories, the UN has called on Thailand to refrain from using violence, and in business news, several malls in Bangkok have announced their earlier closing times than usual, citing safety concerns for the mall customers. And into today's top headlines. Prime Minister Yingluck Shinawatra has assigned her deputy, Pongthep Thepkanchana, to invite all relevant parties to a discussion about the possibility of postponing the general election, as requested by the Election Commission, or the EC. Upon the Prime Minister's instruction, Mr. Pongthep yesterday sent out invitation letters to various parties to attend a meeting on whether or not the February 2nd poll could be rescheduled. Those who were invited included representatives from the EC, the Office of the Auditor General, the Office of the Council of State, political parties and private organizations, as well as protest groups. Ms. Yingluck, who will be the chair of the meeting, stated that the government's invitation would be made based on sincere intentions in order to allow all sides, either pro or anti-election, to jointly deliberate the possibility of deferring the election date, as previously recommended by the EC. She, however, insisted that national reform would not be included in the topics. Meanwhile, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs Surapong Towitakchaikul has urged the EC to be more precise in its approaches to adjourning the poll, and claimed that the government does not have the authority by law to do so. The Election Commission, or the EC, has admitted that if Prime Minister Yingluck Shinawatra has turned down its previous suggestion to postpone the February 2nd election, the Constitutional Court might be asked to determine what the next steps should be regarding the election postponement. The EC recently lodged a request to Prime Minister Yingluck Shinawatra for a new royal decree to be drafted on the rescheduling of the general election from February 2nd to May 4th. The Commission cited various reasons for the adjournment, including the inability to open registrations for electoral candidates in most of the southern provinces due to protesters' obstruction and a potential waste of the election budget, should the election need to be reorganized afterwards due to incompletion. With no response from the Premier as of yet, the EC has coordinated with all of its offices in 375 constituencies nationwide to continue their duties until further notice. EC Secretary General Puchong Nutrawong pointed out that if Ms. Yingluck refused to do as requested, the Commission might have to turn to the Constitutional Court for suggestions. As for preparations for the advance voting on January the 26th, no problems have been reported in any of the provinces in the north, northeast, and central plains, according to Mr. Puchong. However, EC officials in all 15 southern provinces and Bangkok are reportedly having difficulties finding venues for the polls after facing rejections by venue owners who fear damages from imminent protests. The military might be contacted for assistance in providing its bases for the purpose. The EC Secretary General also insisted that violent incidents would be avoided at all costs during the ballot. If there are disturbances, the event would be called off immediately, and the officials would find ways to deal with the problem afterwards. The United States has called on Thailand to peacefully thrash out the differences and refrain from using violence. The U.S. Embassy in Thailand has called on all Thais to find a peaceful means in resolving the political deadlock, also commending the patience the people of Thailand and the government had shown towards one another during such testing times. Nevertheless, the U.S. has also urged that all sides refrain from using violence and adhere to the democratic principles in resolving the political issues. Moreover, U.S. officials in Thailand are working to bridge cooperation and negotiations to take place in a peaceful and democratic manner. Thailand is the United States' oldest ally in the Southeast Asian region, where a Thai-U.S. relations treaty was signed in 1833, during the time Thailand was still known as Siam. Interior Minister Jarupong Ruengsuwan thanks United Nations Secretary General Ban Ki-moon for his concerns over possible violence in Thailand and his offer to act as a mediator between the government and the People's Democratic Reform Committee, or the PDRC. According to the Interior Minister, Prime Minister Yingluck Shinawatra decided to dissolve the House when the demonstrations began last year to prevent any clashes and to push the country forward, compared to the Abhisit government refusing to dissolve the House immediately, even though 99 people had been killed during the demonstrations, and dissolved the House in 2011, only when he had no other options. He said more than 95% of the Thai people are for the general election, so that the democratic system in the country may be sustained. Therefore, the only solution to this conflict is to follow the voice of the majority and not to abide by the wish of only one group, he added. The various supermarkets in Bangkok have enough supplies for the city's residents, despite the People's Democratic Reform Committee, or the PDRC's, sealing off of Bangkok's key streets. A group of supporters in Nakhon Phanom expressed their political opinion by walking to the provincial city hall with white balloons in hands. Leading the gathering, a former chairman of the Provincial Administration Organization, or the PAO, said the group wanted to show Nakhon Phanom people's love for democracy and wished to see the polls on February the 2nd. Roi Et locals marched from the Bung Plan Chai swamp along the Suryadet Bamrung Road to the entrance of the province's city hall in a bid to hand over the symbolic key to Roi Et Governor Somsak Kamtawiprom to emphasize their opposition to the PDRC's mass gathering in Bangkok. The move aims to oppose all sorts of undemocratic action deemed harmful to the country's economy and security. The governor accepted the key and would later pass it over to Prime Minister and Defense Minister Yingluck Shinawatra. The White Pigeon group of Phetchabun province gathered to hand over a letter of support for the February 2nd polls to the provincial governor and later released white balloons before continuing their parade to other districts in the province. They also hoped that the PDRC would halt their movement in Bangkok. Besides, over 500 members of the We Love Democracy group in Surin province set on a marching campaign, calling on people to come out and vote in the election. The group paraded through several roads asking people to exercise their rights and handed a letter of election support to the police and the Provincial Election Commission member, expressing their opposition against the coup d'etat. The Bangkok Metropolitan Administration, or the BMA, collected more than 130 tons of garbage at the PDRC's rally site on Ratchadamnern Avenue after the group abandoned the venue. According to Bangkok Governor Mom Ratchawong Sukumpan Boripat, the BMA has so far collected 130 tons of garbage and waste left behind by the PDRC protesters at Ratchadamnern Avenue, adding that 3 to 4 rounds of cleaning will be carried out to ensure public hygiene. The trash collected was left on the streets, sidewalks, and even in the sewer systems near the area. Moreover, steel barricades are being added to the area to ensure better traffic flow and for medics and fire trucks to be able to enter the area in case of an emergency. A poll by Suan Dusit finds that a majority of people are worried about the People's Democratic Reform Committee, or the PDRC, mass rallies in Bangkok and hope that they end soon, since all sectors are now being affected. Despite their concerns, most of the respondents said they viewed that the mass rallies by the PDRC were an important event which could bring about significant changes to Thai politics. They added that they braced whatever came and kept abreast of news. The respondents urged all sides to talk and suggested that everyone respect the laws and avoid using violence. They also pleaded with the protesters to think about the people who had trouble traveling in Bangkok during the rallies. And that's it for our first segments. But coming up next, over 6,000 taxis at Suvarnabhumi Airport is providing 24-hour service to passengers in Bangkok during the PDRC mass rallies. Please stay tuned. Newsline will be right back after these messages.
Open the world of information. embrace public participation. Present Thainess to the world. New dimension of the government's public relations. The 80th anniversary of the Public Relations Department. Creative media for the society. Mobilizing Thailand towards the ASEAN community.
เมื่อมนุษย์ทำลายสมดุลทางธรรมชาติแล้วมนุษย์ก็เป็นผู้ประสบภัยพิบัติจากธรรมชาติร่วมสร้างอนาคตลดภัยพิบัติระดมพลังพลิกฟื้นคืนผืนป่าในทุกชุมชนทั่วประเทศ
For those who have Android smartphones, you can download a PRD News application by searching for PRD News English in Play Store. That way, you can stay up to date with the latest happenings in Thailand.
Welcome back. You're watching Newsline. Let's now take a look at what's happening in the world of business. National Broadcasting and Telecommunications Commission, or the NBTC Secretary General Thakon Tantasit has affirmed that signals from the Thaikom satellite have been disturbed, causing low streaming quality on televisions. The Secretary General said the NBTC has sent out mobile units to check mobile phone and satellite frequencies during the anti-government demonstrations of the People's Democratic Reform Committee, or the PDRC. Mr. Thakon said it is hard to monitor the problems as the frequency disturbances were done at different locations. Those found guilty for such acts will face imprisonment of at least 5 years. As for the phone signals in local communities, the signals were normal at 95%, both for phone calls and internet use. Moreover, the NBTC reported that mobile phone operators had expanded their phone signal channels, as asked by NBTC, to support the amount of use at protest areas. The various supermarkets in Bangkok have enough supplies for the city's residents, despite the People's Democratic Reform Committee, or the PDRC's, sealing off of some Bangkok's key streets. According to Internal Trade Department Director General, recent random inspections at department stores located in the proximity to the rally sites have shown that commodity prices remain at the normal level. The PDRC's gathering will not affect goods distribution to supermarkets in Bangkok, and both the department stores and the SME retailers have in stock ample supplies to last the rally period. Mr. Somchat Soitong also said that the PDRC had promised the Commerce Ministry that it would not obstruct trucks delivering goods to department stores and retailers. He urged those who live in Bangkok to refrain from hoarding commodity goods and food supplies, as most of the supermarkets will be open as usual during the Bangkok rally. Meanwhile, Mr. Apisit Pitiyanukro, a senior manager of Big C supermarket in Sapan Kwai, one of the areas located near a rally site, said his store has stocked up supplies for residents in the area. He assured the public that Big C Sapan Kwai has ample supplies of crucial items, such as instant noodles and cooking oil. The senior manager also stressed that the store would sell every item at regular price. Tourist police have disclosed on Monday that so far they have not received any complaints from tourists or requests for assistance as a consequence of the political demonstration, at the tourist help desk arranged specifically for Bangkok residents at 4 BTS stations. Police Colonel Achayon Graitong, Deputy Commander of the Tourist Police, indicated that 60 tourist police personnel are manning the help desk at Payathai, Siam, Asok and Saladang BTS stations. Throughout Monday, help desk personnel did not receive any complaints or aid requests due to the political demonstration. Khajon Virajai, Deputy Permanent Secretary of the Tourism and Sports Ministry, revealed that only 6 calls were made to the Tourist Friend Center on Monday. All the calls were made to ask for travel directions and route status. Mr. Khajon said this indicated tourists had an understanding of the political situation and had not been afflicted by the road closures. The Tourist Friend Center was operating out of Hua Mak Sports Complex, Suvarnabhumi Airport and Dongmueang Airport. Volunteers wearing white shirts with Tourist Friend Center text were being fielded by the center around Bangkok to provide assistance to tourists. Tourists can contact the center 24 hours a day by dialing 02-314-1212. Over 6,000 taxis at Suvarnabhumi Airport will provide a 24-hour services to passengers in Bangkok during the PTRC rally. Orange stickers will be attached on all the airport taxis. Coordinator of the Public Taxi Drivers Group at Suvarnabhumi Airport, Pattavi Mirat, said orange stickers will be attached on all airport taxis and asked the anti-government People's Democratic Reform Committee, or the PDRC, to allow them passage to drive passengers to their destinations. Suvarnabhumi Airport also arranged a special parking lot which can accommodate more than 3,000 cars. Cars will be able to park there free of charge. As for people who need to travel to the airport, Ms. Pattavi said people can take shuttle buses from the parking site to the first floor of the passenger terminal to commute on to the airport link into the city. The airport has also arranged extra shuttle bus service to nearest BTS SkyTrain stations at On Nut and Lat Krabang. Commuters can take the shuttle buses from Gate 3 on the first floor of the passenger terminal. As for air travelers, they are suggested to spare at least 4 hours to Suvarnabhumi Airport or resort to Airport Rail Link, BTS SkyTrain or MRT underground train to avoid traffic congestion. Several malls in Bangkok have announced earlier closing times than usual, citing safety concerns for the mall customers. According to field reporters, Siam Discovery, Siam Center and Siam Paragon malls closed at 6 p.m. instead of the usual time at 10 p.m. Central World at Ratchaprasong intersection moved its closing time to 6 p.m. on Tuesday. Big C Supercenter in Ratchadamri closed since 6 p.m. The nearby Platinum Fashion Mall closed down at 7 p.m. Let's now take another quick break. Newsline will return with more news.
Open the world of information. Embrace public participation. Present Thailand to the world. New dimension of the government's public relations. The 80th anniversary of the Public Relations Department. Creative media for the society. Mobilizing Thailand towards the ASEAN community.
มนุษย์ทำลายสมดุลทางธรรมชาติแล้วมนุษย์ก็เป็นผู้ประสบภัยพิบัติจากธรรมชาติร่วมสร้างอนาคตลดภัยพิบัติระดมพลังพลิกฟื้นคืนผืนป่าในทุกชุมชนทั่วประเทศ
For those who have Android smartphones, you can download a PRD News application by searching for PRD News English in Play Store. That way, you can stay up to date with the latest happenings in Thailand.
Welcome back. You're still with us on Newsline. The United Nations has declared December the 5th as the World Soil Day to honor His Majesty the King's extensive work in the field of soil resource development. Kun Orapha Chuprasit has the report.
The Thai government has been a leading proponent of the UN's officially establishing December the 5th as World Soil Day, as a way to raise awareness of the importance of this natural resource towards agricultural development, nutrition and food security at the national and international levels in order to address the challenges of continued world population growth. Following the 17th World Congress of Soil Science in Bangkok in 2002, the International Union of Soil Sciences, attended by over 60,000 members worldwide, recognized the importance of the work of His Majesty the King in agricultural development. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the Ministry of Agriculture and Cooperatives have been collaborating in a joint effort to designate the World Soil Day and the International Year of Soils. On December 6, 2013, the Economic and Financial Committee of the 68th session of the United Nations General Assembly in New York officially adopted a resolution to declare December the 5th of every year as the World Soil Day and to declare 2015 as the International Year of Soils. World Soil Day has been designated to recognize the importance of soil in sustaining plant life and its contribution to the well-being of humanity. According to UN members, it was time we addressed the lack of recognition of soil, as it is the foundation of agriculture. The significant roles of soils in food production have been widely recognized, but the contributions of soils to food security and food safety have relatively been ignored. The UN not only celebrated soil as a critical component of the natural system, but also His Majesty the King, who has been a vital contributor to the development of soil resources. In pursuing resource and energy autonomy, His Majesty has supported during the past 40 years many environmental projects, which include forest conservation and rehabilitation, water conservation, land and soil development, and green energy technologies or alternative energy sources. Environmental issues are related, as the depletion of one natural resource will inevitably affect the others. His Majesty's environmental projects can be classified only broadly, as a great number of them are interlocked. The royally initiated projects discourage the overuse of chemicals in increasing agricultural productivity. Natural replacement devices, safer fertilizers, and pest control methods are preferred instead, such as using plants to improve soil quality. Vetiver grass, for example, has been used for soil and water conservation, and water hyacinth for wastewater treatment. Vetiver grass was a great discovery, a success internationally acclaimed, because this hardy grass can prevent soil erosion and also conserve water in the soil, making it easier to revitalize according to its problems. In 2012, His Majesty the King was also honored as the first recipient of the Humanitarian Soil Scientist Award for his dedication to soil resource management. The award was presented to His Majesty by Stephen Northcliffe, chairman of the International Union of Soil Sciences, in April of that year. This is Audapa Shwerpasit reporting.
The Department of Disaster Prevention and Mitigation, or the DDPM, has reported that cold spell has hit 44 provinces, while drought has expanded to 17 districts in 4 provinces. Emergency disaster zones have been declared in 44 provinces, or 526 districts hit by the cold weather, affecting 7.6 million households, or roughly 24 million people in 17 northern provinces, 20 northeastern provinces, 6 central provinces, and 1 eastern province. Meanwhile, drought disaster zones have been declared in 17 districts of 4 provinces, including Khon Kaen, Mahasarakham, Buriram, and Singhburi. Major reservoirs of the country are holding a combined volume of 50,600 million cubic meters of water, or 72% of their total capacity. The amount is 3,000 million cubic meters higher than last year. Farmland in Nakhon Sawan and Tak provinces have been hit by drought. Main rivers have been dredged to allow water to flow faster. In Tak province, agricultural areas in Masot district are in dire need of water after natural water sources dried up. Lime orchards are lacking water and some of the produce are sold at a lower price. In the province of Nakhon Sawan, 3 main rivers, Ping, Nan, and Chao Phraya, have less water and the flows cannot be diverted to irrigation canals. Farmers in the province are afraid that there will not be enough water to grow the second rice crop. The Nakhon Sawan Provincial Irrigation Office is trying to assist the farmers by dredging the rivers so that the waters flow to drought-affected areas better. And that wraps up today's edition of Newsline. For any comments or suggestions, please feel free to email us at newsline.nbt@gmail.com. And before we say goodbye today, we'll take you to Purua National Park to a beautiful site of Makaning spreading all over the area. Have a wonderful day. My name is Nat Nakavisut. สวัสดีครับ